Maurer. I'm the Dean of Social Sciences and a professor of anthropology here at UC Irvine.
My name is Patterson. I'm a professor in informatics in the Information and Computer Sciences School, also at UC Irvine.
And we are your instructors this summer for this class on the future of money from barter to Bitcoin. This is a class that we taught last summer, and it was very successful, and the students were super enthusiastic about it, and so we thought we would offer it again. And some of what we're trying to do is to help put in context the developments that are taking place right now in technology and money that really seem to have centered around the whole Bitcoin phenomenon.
Yeah, there's been a lot of news just in the public discourse and the public conversation through news media about Bitcoin and how it's good and how it's bad and how it's used for illegal things and how there are regulations. But it's hard to actually get a handle around what is it and what does it mean? How does it fit into everything else that's going on right now?
And one of the things that we hope to accomplish in this class is to also give you some take-home lessons for things beyond Bitcoin, because we honestly can't predict what's going to happen with Bitcoin itself, or some of the startup activity that's taking place around it, or some of the sort of copycat things that are out there like Bitcoin. So what we're going to do in this class is really try to make sure that in addition to learning about Bitcoin, you come away with just some basic knowledge of 4 key things. One of them is money. What is money? How does it get value? What's its history? What's its origin? Why do we use money anyway? And what have been some alternative monies and alternatives to money out there in the world?
Another one is encryption. We want you guys to get a little bit of familiarity with a couple different protocols, a couple different styles of encryption. We're not going to expect you to program. That's one of the things about this class is we don't expect you to have extensive computer programming or in fact any programming experience. But we are going to ask you to engage with a couple technical topics, including cryptography. But don't worry, we're going to be there to hold your hand. We've got tutorials set up and we'll walk you through the process of doing these things. But you'll have to follow the instructions carefully and every now and then take a step back and think about, okay, what does this mean for technology, for cryptography, and for currency?
Another area we're going to cover is the payments industry. Now, the payments industry is something that you interact with pretty much every day, but you rarely think about it. The payments industry basically involves all of the businesses and the other entities, the governments, all the intermediaries that are there whenever you are transferring money from yourself to somebody else or to some other entity or business. What are the structures, what are the infrastructures, what are the laws that basically facilitate that movement of value? So, you know, a real easy thing to think about is just cash. You hand over some cash to somebody and you've made a payment. Well, where does that cash come from? How does it get transported around? Who puts it into the ATMs, right? Getting a little bit more complicated are the electronic value transfer systems, things like the Visa card network or the MasterCard network. We'll talk about how they work, where they came from, and then how things like Bitcoin fit into that overall landscape of payments businesses and payments technologies.
A lot of the things that we're going to learn through money is about the social organization around them, and so the last thing that we hope that we'll be able to communicate to you is about the codified social customs around money, which is our regulations and laws. And this is one place where Bitcoin has been moving very quickly, and in fact we kind of expect that over the course of this summer quarter we're going to see some changes or some developments in that space because it's happening very fast.
Yep, and we will keep you posted on those developments as they're happening. Now, this is an online-only class. Most of the activity will be taking place in what we would call an asynchronous way. We're not expecting everyone to all log in all at the same time and participate in something. Instead, everything will be happening through the EEE website. There's material posted there for you to read. When you look at the website, you will see little icons off to the left. You click on those icons and they'll take you to the resource, whether it's a reading or a video or something else. Right. There are readings, and the readings are broken into 2 main categories. There are general articles, then there are more technical articles. And we give you guidance along the way on how you should be reading those, whether you should go in depth or just skim. And again, we'll be there to help guide you through the readings.
So every week we're going to provide you by email with a roadmap of how to get through the week's content. Our weeks run Monday to Sunday, and in addition to the readings, we also have videos and some explorations. The videos are a mix of videos that were filmed for the last version of the class, and in places where we felt like they needed to be updated, we're adding some new ones. So you'll see a mix of old and new there.
We're also really excited that we've lined up a couple founders of some Bitcoin-related startup companies to speak to the class, and we're in the process of trying to schedule them. What we'll probably do is a live broadcast of our interview with them, and you can listen in, and there'll be a way for you to engage in sort of text chat with our teaching assistant, who we'll talk about in a moment. And then for those of you who can't log in when the thing is actually being broadcast, it'll be saved up on the website, and you'll be able to go back later and post some comments.
Right. So for assessments, the way that we evaluate your work in this class, we have a couple different things that we're doing. One important one is the forum. Every Monday when we start our week, we'll have a forum prompt, and we'd like you to, as you're doing your readings and videos, think about the forum prompt, and at some point respond to our prompt in the EEE discussion forum. That's the first part of your weekly discussion. The second part of the weekly discussion is to respond to one of your classmates who will have already posted something, and that would be done by the following Sunday. So the minimum would be 2 different responses, but we hope that we'll have a more vigorous debate, a more challenging debate maybe. And we intend to be there along with Katie, our TA, helping to guide you a little bit and maybe steer you in a little different directions depending on which way it's going.
And we're hoping that the discussion forum can be a place where you also are starting to talk to each other. You can post, you're required to post to at least one of your classmates' comments, but you can, post to a whole bunch of people's comments and really get little discussions going. Since it is an online forum, we do want to make sure that you're respectful of others, that you're not engaging in any nastiness. It's easy sometimes to do that online, but we will be there the whole time watching the debate unfold, and we'll be jumping in, and we really won't tolerate any nastiness. So,
yeah, we want it to be a positive experience for everyone. We want it to be professional because we're all training to be professionals. Some of us hopefully already are.
We mentioned our TA. We have a TA. Her name is Katie Lustig. She's a PhD student in the Department of Informatics here at UC Irvine, and she's doing her dissertation on Bitcoin. And if you go online and Google her, you will find that a survey that she did of the demographic characteristics of Bitcoin users generated quite a bit of discussion on some of the Bitcoin online forums. So in the Bitcoin world, she's a known entity and has developed a solid reputation as a serious researcher in this space.
Yeah. So the other assessments we've got 2 quizzes over the course of the quarter, 2 essay questions. We have a couple exploratory labs that are mostly about completing them. And then our final exam is an essay-based final. Did I miss any?
I think that's it. There's one other important thing, which is that in addition to the weekly forums, where we're giving you a prompt every week and asking you to respond and weigh in on the debate, there's also going to be one forum run continuously through the entire course that's called Ask Us Anything. And that's the place to ask us anything, if it's not on the forum topic, right? So something that is about the material that you're learning about, but sort of outside of the scope of whatever we're doing that week, or any technical question you're having, or
problems with the software, misunderstandings about the requirements of the class. That's a great place to help clear it up for everyone.
So that's the class. We're really looking forward to working with you and to teaching it this summer, and we will see you online.
Okay, look forward to chatting with you.
Come on in. Oh, hey Katie, what's up?
Not too much.
What you been doing?
Just working on my dissertation.
Oh, cool. Well, we've got the class here, the Bitcoin class, right over there. Why don't you introduce yourself and say a bit about what your dissertation is on and how you got started in this topic.
Hi, I'm Katie Lustig. I'm really excited to be TA in this class and meet you all. My dissertation is on the values of Bitcoin users and some of the societal impacts of using Bitcoin. And I got into Bitcoin just because in some ways I didn't totally understand why people wanted to use it. And so that's actually been the central question of my dissertation.
Great. So let me ask you a question. Do you use Bitcoin?
I do, a little bit.
Like for what? For what kinds of transactions or purchases?
Mostly just tipping people, actually.
Huh. Tipping people in physical world or online?
Online.
Online. For what kinds of things?
Just good Reddit posts or just helpful advice.
And so do you have like a big store of Bitcoin?
No, I wish.
Well, great. Well, we're looking forward to having you TA for the class, and I'm sure the students are looking forward to having you participate in the discussion forums and help them through some of the slightly more challenging exercises, and also to draw on your expertise on Bitcoin, since your work on it has been quite extensive. So thanks for TAing,
Yeah,
and
you.
we're looking forward to it.
I am too.
Okay,
And
great. Did we get
I
everything?
think so. Look,
That was a little better back and forth.
Yeah.
I talked and you.
that was good.